we are supposed to be here or we are supposed to go to Facebook Live there?
Here, okay. Here, then you can ask me questions.
Okay.
You can try live also using your other devices if you want to see.
I cannot see your live.
Oh, now streaming live already. Just started already.
Okay.
Cannot. Hello everyone. Thank you for being here tonight. Thanks for the support, Rachel, Sherry, Martin, Kenneth, Cheryl. Okay, so I'm going to start off my presentation. Now it's just a COVID situation. It's the new normal. So it's not so. I can hear. Okay, so now it's a new normal. So now using all the high tech. In fact, when I first decided to do this Facebook Live, I didn't know how to do it at all. So I took up the courage and the challenge just to share something that is interesting to me, that I feel is very relevant, and a lot of people are asking this question: is it the right time to enter now in the property market? Right. So this is the number one question that most people are asking now, because it's, how to say, every day, was a period of discovery of yourself, and a lot of uncertainty in the market, a lot of fear in the market. Okay, so actually the first thing first, since you're listening and you want to ask this question, is this the right time to enter now? This means that you have the resources you're thinking of investing, you're thinking of buying a property. Or maybe not now, but maybe in a few years' time, or maybe next year, you're thinking of whether should you enter the market. But it shows that you are also have some confidence in the market, but you just want to find out more. So actually, the number one thing first, right? As usual, everything will pass. This COVID situation will pass. When do you think that the situation recover? When will COVID end? Maybe you all have some, ideas. I'll put down 1 year. Yeah, maybe 1 year. Wendy, help me see the Facebook. I don't see the. Sorry, I looking at the Facebook comments because now. Yeah. Okay, so yeah, 1 year. One year is pretty fast. In fact, it's some people are saying 1 year plus. But for certain, in 3 years' time, this COVID situation will definitely be over. But one thing you cannot run away is the fact that you will grow old, and you'll reach an age whereby retirement will come. So a lot of times before you start investing, you must think about yourself. Where are you now? Is time on your side? What are you doing in your life? What will be the net worth when you retire? Because this is a current article that I saw yesterday in the Straits Times, 1-2 days ago. In fact, it says over here, 2 in 3 those interviewees, right? They don't have enough savings in the past 6 months. They cannot last 6 months. In fact, so this current situation is in fact a glimpse of your current retirement readiness. It's very scary, when me and Wendy were at home, right? So we basically every day wake up is to eat, makan, then go and buy food, buy grocery. So of course, business was affected, and it also means that something came into our mind straight away, is that how much savings do we have? So this offers us a glimpse into 20 years down the road. What is our retirement going to be like? Do we have the resources enough to enjoy our lifestyle, to do the things that we want, or do we have to worry about the basic everyday living expenses? I don't want to live a retirement whereby I have to worry every day about my next meal. I want to retire happily and with a lot of funds. And I believe in this current COVID situation, right, there will be some people who are very stressed. There will be some people who have $1 million, $2 million, or $10 million in the bank. These are the people who will every day will mask up and every day will put a lot of sanitizer because they can't see them, right? Then the rest of us, of course, we also want to be careful, but at the same time, we are also very stressed about our retirement, our current expenses, whether we have enough or not. So I want to make, out of this COVID, after this COVID situation, I really want to work very hard because I want to be able to have a very comfortable retirement, right? So one thing made me realize also, right, during this COVID situation, of course, to close a deal is not easy, so there'll be a lot of obstacles. And, it's getting a person to buy property just virtually is not so easy. I've done rental, but still I have quite a few, they are looking into buying. But of course, there's some barriers to wanting to commit virtually. A lot of them, they say they want to wait until the show flat is open. Then they'll go down to see the physical product. But after every obstacle, I will tell myself, who am I working for? Who am I working hard for? I want to make sure that I really have to close the deal so that I can bring the food home, right? So this is why we are working hard for in our life. And why is money so important to us? Because if you have like $1 million, $10 million in your bank, definitely you have a lot of choices in life. You have a lot of security. So like I was mentioning, now the current sentiment, of course, initially it was much worse. Everyone was so uncertain. There was a lot of fear, and there were a lot of losses in the stock market. What happened? Every day we are bombarded with articles like this that shows that Singapore is headed for deeper recession and more job losses. Then would you, when you see this kind of article, right, would you think of buying property? I think 99% of the time you think no. But in fact, and also, looking at the share market worse, initially the market keep dropping like crazy. I also got buy a bit, so I lost some money, so I quickly cut loss when they look at me. Okay, so I was thinking that, it's going to go down even further. But the fact is, it really went down quite a lot. I think at least 30-40%, 30+%. So I was thinking from a point of a lot of fear. So I thought that it will go even lower. But in fact, now it has recovered like 20%, right? So I think this is human nature. And also, property prices didn't drop. Property prices, didn't drop. So I'll go to that. So this is the advantage of buying a private property or having a property, your HDB, your EC, your condominium, or your landed. It's not so volatile like shares. Of course, those people who are good in shares, you can always short sell and you make a lot of money. But not many, to be frank, not many people have such skills. I mean, like even myself, I buy in full cash. I will be emotional and I will be very scared and I'll quickly cut loss. So when I cut loss, right, in fact, the market rebounded. So this is the question that most people are asking right now. Will property prices crash? So over here, I have 3 answers. It's a short quiz. Minus 10%, drop 10%, drop 20%, drop 30%. Now, what do you think? Maybe you can share with me right now. Maybe you can type in your chat box. Yeah. If you're still there. Drop 40%. Wow, cannot say drop 40%. Oh my God. Okay. Okay, that's very scary. No, nobody will buy. Okay, I'll move on. Okay. So this is something that I read from 99.co. This is their take. Because there were economists that were saying, okay, Cheryl said 10%, Cheryl then says 5%, Jeremy said 2%. Jeremy said 2%, maybe he watched Ismail just now. Ismail was like, in seminar, they were forecasting the drop in prices this year. Yeah, 2 to 3%, that was what they are forecasting. Well, Jay even more optimistic, he thinks that the price will increase steady. But it's true, there are some launches that are increasing price. And in fact, last week alone, there were 100 new launches sold in one single week. And my friend who is working in the government sector, monitoring the property industry, because he's involved, he says that in fact, the volume only dropped by 50%. It's quite amazing, given the current climate now. Okay, so this is the take from 99.co. I think it was an article about 1-2 weeks ago. The analysts were writing 4 to 7% recession. So they were forecasting a price of 1.2% in, okay, this is the actual figure right now. Q1 2020 dropped 1.2%. This whole year, they forecast 5 to 11% drop. Higher market will drop even more because, you know, there's less owner occupation percentage over there. It's more local. Local, they will need a roof over the head. You know, investors, they just invest. So it's more volatile over there because it's all foreigners, right? But HDB, of course, is the bread and butter and it's the basic roof over head. So it will drop by a lesser margin. Let me show you, compare with 2008. Okay, 2008 to 2009, the financial crisis. Of course, there are some analysts that compares with SARS and H1N1. But of course, when SARS and H1N1 happened, right? In fact, only certain part of the market was affected. But this time is different. This time is a global, from a health crisis, it became a global crisis. A lot of countries all affected. All affected by what? All affected by lack of economic activity. You know, you cannot go outside, go and makan. You cannot go outside, eat your food and bread. You know, you cannot buy a car, you know, as you feel it. Every industry is affected. The waiter is affected. The dishwasher is affected, you know. So we will compare, a good comparison would be the 2008 to 2009 financial crisis. In that year alone, the market went down 18%, right? Why? Why did the market drop 18%? Okay. Before that, my helper, China helper, was telling me, you know, part-time helper lah, you know, she helps, pays her $10 a day. One day she tells me, hey, 我要买房子. Yeah, I pay her $10 an hour, you know, and she tells me, 我要买房子. Then I was a bit shocked and I was happy lah. In the end, she bought a 4-bedroom condominium in Park Oasis. How? She didn't have any income here, you know. She only had 200,000. 200,000 and UOB only needed her to show the funds. You know, there's no TDSR like what they have now. The down payment was only 10%. And because of this, and at the point of time, there were rampant speculation also. I read in some article, it was like 13 to 15% of the transaction are sub-sales, compared to now is 0.1% or 0.01%, very little, right? Hence, at the point of time when the financial crisis happened, right, a lot of people were caught off guard and they had to force sell. And the margin was only 10%. The bank valuation drops by so much, the bank had to call for funds, call for margin call, and they were forced to sell. Everyone cut quickly. But ask you now, any of you who owns a second property, or you know someone who owns a second property or third property, would they want to sell their third or second property at a huge discount? Do you think they want to sell 10% cheaper? Definitely not. Then anyone comment? What do you think? Why is this so? It's because they paid ABSD, possibly. Or they didn't pay ABSD and they bought a long time ago. But if they were to sell away the second or third property, can they buy back the second or third property again without paying ABSD? The answer is no. So they would rather hold on to the current property and just wait out. Anyway, the interest rates are so low now. My current interest rate is less than 1%, 3 months IBOR plus 0.2% spread. So even if the rent should drop a few $100 or $1,000, I think it still can cover the interest component. So they rather wait out. And of course, the government learned a lesson, you know, after the crash and the market heated up, between 2010 to 2013, the government implemented 10 rounds of cooling measures, a lot of cooling measures. You know, and all these kept the property bubble in check. And in fact, the property market fundamentals were very strong. The property market prices went up high, but in fact, the income level of the population went up higher than the property prices. So this is why you can see that although the per square feet prices of the properties nowadays are higher, people are still buying. because their incomes have outpaced the per square feet prices, and they find it affordable. And another thing to show you, oh, there's a bit of lag, hang on. Okay, yeah, can see already. If you compare global property prices, Singapore is one of the most undervalued properties now. They have kept the property prices so under, like it's like a ball underwater, you know, they're suppressing. Actually, there's a lot of demand, but all these cooling measures have pressed down, you know, the prices in check. And other countries, they didn't have so much cooling measures, and they surged like crazy. And this is why, you know, I think today article they were saying that there were a lot of deposits coming into Singapore, seeking a safe haven, because they know that Singapore is a safe haven and they want to keep money here. Sooner or later, after this COVID situation, I'm very sure that all the overseas Chinese investors and even Hong Kong investors, they'll start to buy a lot of properties. And in fact, we do see a lot of bulk purchases during this circuit breaker. Even without viewing the show flat, they put down to buy a few properties and even like Wallish 10 over million. So can you imagine when this COVID situation is over, or at least stabilized to phase 2, where Singapore and China, they have this bubble travel, if I'm not wrong, right? They can fly down. They can fly down. Once they can fly down, straight away they'll put out the money. I'm very sure. Chantel said 20%. Thank you so much. I missed that. Okay. Singapore, you look at that. This is what I mean. Even though the prices of the properties have gone up, but the income has outpaced the prices. Let me show you an example. Okay, yeah, draw this. Okay, this is what I mean. It has come down. Whereas for other countries, it has gone up. Okay. Yeah, so it means that it takes only 4.6 years of your income to pay off the house. So even though the house prices have gone up, the income had gone up even faster. And that's why it used to take 7.3 years to pay off the house that was cheaper. But now it only takes 4.6 years to pay off a house that's more expensive in absolute amounts. Why? Because income has outpaced and it has become more affordable. Okay. Yeah, so this is the recent property price index. Okay, can see. Sorry, yeah. Okay, yeah. You can see that the 99.co shows the price drop. For the yellow one is the CCR, and the RCR is the pink one, and the OCR is the most stable one at dropping only 0.4%. So you can see that in Q1, in fact, the prices did not drop so much as compared to your shares. Shares dropped 30+%. This one only dropped about over 1%. The next slide over here is showing the HDB prices. The black line is the price index. You can see, in fact, the price went up. Why? Because there were a lot more grants, the new grants available for the Singaporeans. They enhanced the grants. But one thing you notice that April, the volume dropped because they were very hard to do the viewing. But the prices still remain stable. So why are so many foreigners or so many investors or even locals, they can hold on to their property prices and not force sell? It's because they have a lot of proportion in the cash deposits and CPF. They have a lot of liquidity. The net worth has gone up. You compare with the last global financial crisis, the amount of net worth has gone up compared with that. And the amount of the green line is the amount of cash that you have. It has gone up. In fact, this is the all-time, I think, richest point, the highest point in time where there are so many rich people. And of course, we have a solid government helping to stabilize the property market. And not only property market, the whole Singapore, the whole job market. You know, they have they call it the unity, then they call it the resilience, then the solidarity, and lastly the fortitude. And does the government help, support, stop there? In fact, no, you know, they promise that they will do whatever it takes. As long as you need help, they will come to you. Of course, there's an election coming, but I'm sure it's also very fair because all of us have been paying tax. You know, you pay for tax, then you tell me that is for, you know, the future generation. Then, but before we reach there, right, we must survive this period, right? And you know, after paying so much tax, I'm also happy to see that the tax is helping us, benefit us directly this generation now. And of course, there are even more measures that you know, relief measures that government is coming in to help us. Hang on, there's a bit of lag. Can see? Okay, yeah, okay, now can see already. The deferment of mortgage repayment until 31st December. I've encouraged quite a few of my friends to take this up. Not only can you help on the cash flow until the end of this year, even if your income is not certain, you also, by saving up this cash flow, can you imagine you save up 6 or 7 months worth of cash flow? You can use these savings to tahan the next 6 or 7 months of installments. Do you think the homeowners are in a rush to sell at a cheap price their property when they have this reserve fund? I guess not. So I think this is a very good way to help to support the property market, because the government realized that this is a possible current short-term situation that everyone is adapting to the new normal, right? And they have to make sure that all the good businesses are kept afloat. And also Singapore has also managed to, within the first quarter, they have managed to secure up to 13 billion new types of investments, overseas investments to invest in Singapore. This reflects the level of confidence that foreign investors have in Singapore. And 13 billion is not a small sum. And all this will create a lot of good jobs in the future. Hang on, there's a bit of lag, so sorry. Okay, yeah, can see better now. Can you see Andrea? Can lag. Okay. Are you all still there? I'm not boring you. Any point in time you have any question, please just drop me a chat. Slow down, I need to slow down. Okay. Okay, yeah, this is the next one. So government knows about all these issues that the COVID has, because they come out with all these circuit breaker. So when they come out with circuit breaker, they want to help the developers. They want to help the homeowners. So they allow the developers to have a 6 months extension for their ABSD, QC deadlines, their completion and sales deadline. So what does this mean? You know, this means that they are not in a rush to really sell and they are not under pressure. You know, when you developer has pitched for a project, they have 5 years from the day that they get the land tender until the day that 5 years later, they have to self-finish all their properties. Otherwise, they will face ABSD issue. So because of this current situation, the government is very understanding. They have extended this deadline to another 6 months. This means that there will be very little fire sales or forced sales by the developer to cut price, so that they will not be penalized by ABSD. In fact, this year, I think I was reading there are only 29 units that face this ABSD issue, and they have another 6 months to self-finish their 29 units. That's why a lot of buyers, I do some Facebook marketing, and then I have some inquiries for fire sale projects, and they were telling me that it's very difficult to find fire sale properties currently. Then I said, of course, you have so much government help, to help the homeowners and the developers. Nobody will want to sell their house on fire sale. But frankly, if somebody wants to sell you a property that is on fire sale, should you buy it? I think you're also scared. Why? Why are you scared? Because if the property quality is so good in the first place, why must they do a fire sale? I think it has been in fire sale for the past 1-2 years already. It cannot sell, and the seller even more kanchiong. So that's why they drop the price even more. But if it's a good project, like some projects, like you can ask if is inside, I think she keep blasting certain 1 or 2 dropout units in, I think that time she closed the Avenue South. Very quickly, within 1 hour or less than that, the unit was taken up. This shows a huge demand for good properties. So one consequence of all this current situation, right? You find that the volume drops, but the price didn't really drop. That is the significance of the property market currently. That is the current situation, because the owners are not in the rush to sell. They are not desperate to sell. So if they cannot get a good price, then they say, I'd rather not sell. I just wait out this situation, this COVID situation, until next year. So like sometimes like you talk to a seller and then you try to like tell him, oh, you must sell. Then you say, I'm not in a rush. I don't need to sell now. Then I still got rent coming in. It's okay for me. Yeah. And this is the golden question, like it shows that I saw this article from Channel News Asia. I put it out this graph. You can see very clearly that there is only a short, small window of opportunity for buying a property during a price correction. You can see the rate. Okay, I show you, I draw here. Yeah, okay. This is the part. It shows that during all the major downturns, right? Asia financial crisis, 911, SARS, global financial crisis, H1N1, and this current COVID, how many quarters did the prices go down? Over here is 3 quarters. Over here is 3 quarters. Over here is 3 quarters. Over here, 2 quarters have passed. 2 quarters have passed, but it's barely dropped. And it shows that historical data shows that, sales demand typically recovers shortly. This is a graph that I really want you to see. You can see that after that, right, the demand surged over here. It shoot up. Why? Because everyone is confident already. The market recover already. The sentiment recover already. It's only the initial period, just like the stock market, when there was fear all around the streets, white blood wash, because nobody knows what's going on. But now everybody knows and understands this virus better. And they know that even though they cannot get rid of it, they can control it. You have seen our government, how effectively they have contained this current virus. They have now the circuit breaker, then after they extend it, they call it CCB. Then after that, for agents, it becomes like CCCB. But for the normal, like yesterday, 2nd June, it becomes phase 1. And phase 2 is coming in like 1 week plus, mid of June, or maybe the 3rd week. And even if there might be some small uptick of cases after phase 2, I believe sooner or later, the future way to contain this crisis is by using technology, contact tracing. I think it was mentioned in the papers that they might get people to wear dongles. And I think that's a feasible one, because we're wearing dongles then, I mean, of course, nobody likes that, but they have been encouraging the Trace Together Singapore app. And they were able to do some contact tracing to find out who this person has been exposed to. And I think that is the most extreme situation where they'll use the dongle. And you can see that this is a very effective way to really curb the virus while moving ahead with our economy situation to reboot it back to the pink of health. Of course, you cannot get the full 100%, but at least you can get some. Most of it back. Okay. Any questions so far? Help me see the Facebook Live. Cannot see. Do I have? Okay, I'll move on. Okay. Thank you for being patient with me. Okay. Yeah. This is another interesting one. Another interesting graph that I pulled out. Can see. Oh, it's a bit of lag. Give me a while. Oh, okay, can see already. Okay. Okay. Let me draw again. It shows over here. This line is the gross profit. This line is the gross profit of properties that were bought during this period. You can see during the Great Financial Crisis, the profits were the highest compared to post the financial crisis. Here, if you buy during a crisis, you'll earn a lot more. You earn a lot more than before the crisis, than after the crisis. Right. So in fact, you can see those people who are brave, they are able to buy at the cheapest price, the best price. In fact, this year is a year that actually got the developers and owners, they were very looking forward to this year, because this year is the year that they can increase their profits. They can increase their prices like crazy, and because the sentiment was so good, all the bankers are telling me that they were expecting this year to be a bonus, very good year. Very good year to make money. Everyone was super bullish. Then came along this current situation. And when this current situation comes, right, yes, they may not cut the price, but to be frank, they didn't increase the price. But do you think that they will not increase the price for long? Later, I'll show you more information, possible events that can happen, right? And that's why, fortune favors the brave. Okay. Next one. Hang on, sorry. A bit like, oh yeah, okay, yes, sorry. Okay, this is, I heard Ma Hong tell me. Ma Hong is my colleague. This fella is his friend. So he's going to jail his friend to buy Sentosa house already. This is a young chap. He's looking to buy a $10 to $15 million property in Sentosa, bungalow there. So basically, you can see that crisis equals to opportunity. And what he mentioned, he's going to buy it within the next 6 months, 3 to 6 months. Why? Because he knows that his window of opportunity is very short. He knows that by the time it hits next year they are going to forecast a recovery already. Do you think that the internet connection is unstable? Okay, can you hear me? Can you see me? Is it okay? Can Okay, cool. Sorry. Yeah. So he knows that the market will recover next year. A lot of people know the market will recover next year. So they are looking at quick shopping around for the best buys in this current situation now. It's only those consumers who they themselves are very stressed out about their current financial situation. When you ask someone who is negative, of course he'll tell you all the bad stuff. But when you talk to a person who have all the funds possible, he'll be very excited. This is the best time. I want to find a good deal. This is the next half year. I want to find a good deal. I want to buy it now. Yeah, because when does the crisis like this occur? They have been saying the crisis will come every 8 years it'll come. Then after that it didn't come. Every 8 years it didn't come. Every 7 years after a delay, then now is the last crisis was 2008. So that's 12 years ago. So if you imagine you miss that this crisis now, how long more are you going to wait until the next crisis? And by the time, how old are you? So that is the part of the reason why in 2017, I discussed with Wendy, the market was still a bit down, and but I can see it turning up. So we decided to go ahead in 2017. Because we had a HDB, we know that our HDB is getting old, but it can hold value. But I don't see it holding value very well in the long term because it's already 30 plus years. And the price gap, I know that it's a good time for me to switch my property portfolio. And at that point in time, I also asked myself, hey, it's very scary, what if, they have been talking about every 7-8 years, the market will crash. What if the market really crash? So that's a question I asked myself. That's a real fear. So what I did is that I did some calculation. I had reserve fund for like 5 years. So I don't have to scare. Right? Another thing that if I don't enter now, I already missed the last downturn. And I saw all in 2010, 2011, the market was shooting up like crazy. I missed that cycle. I really quite regret. If I had bought just across the street, Tampines Court, there was 500 over 1,000 at that point in time, whereas we bought our HDB 5-room at 310. Then by now I would have made 1.7 million from the en bloc. Even without the en bloc, it doubled the price from 550, it jumped up to 1.1 million. So I didn't want to miss that again. When I see my friends were making a lot of money, then I really wanted to make my property work harder for me. And I'm very happy because ever since then, the HDB got me 250,000 profit. And after switching over here, then there's another paper gain of 250,000. I managed to, through property, I sleep at home. I made my money work hard for me. I didn't have to work so hard, and I managed to get appreciation of 500,000. To ask me to save this 500,000, it's not easy totally at all because my expenses is quite high. Yeah, so I'm very happy, and that is why I believe very much in property as a low-risk investment that can grow with time. Okay, next slide. So far, okay, huh? Anyone ask anything? No. Okay. Okay, good, cool. Thanks, Elson. Okay, so this is another article that I got. CIMB report. So you see, the Singapore market is set for recovery. All the companies are poising for that. I think sometimes it takes a good crisis. Don't waste a good crisis. That's what they say. During a crisis, the weak companies will collapse. But it doesn't mean that it's not good. It's like the rule of it's like the rule of the nature like that. The strong will survive, the weak will fall. But what it does is to force everybody to digitalize and makes everyone stronger. It makes people like me, who's an old dinosaur, to even talk to you today over Facebook Live. And when I first wanted to do this and post on the Facebook, I was thinking, okay, I post very, very excited. After a while, I regret, I regret like crazy, because I started kanchiong. I don't know how, my IT not good at all, kanchiong, and I cannot sleep. Then I have to prepare the slides that I'm going to show you now. And I don't know how to host a Facebook Live, how to even bring it to Facebook Live. So I watch a lot of YouTube. But through all this, it really forced me to really upskill my skill set, which, improve myself. And of course, I'm going to do some video, but I bought the 𝗠� the gimbal. I didn't even know it's called a gimbal stick. But I took it already. It's just as a stand, but actually they are more functional, but I'm going to use it. Okay. So basically, this current crisis is a good crisis because at the same time, it forced every company to be even more efficient. Of course, that's why the government is coming in to make sure that the good companies do not collapse. And the rest are not suffering. They have to retrain. That's why there are some budget to do some retraining, reskill. Otherwise, there's a lot of fat meat and a lot of, when the times are good, then everyone's happy, Like last year I also had a lot of easy sales, but this year it's not so easy. So I have to improve myself. I have to get out and start to improve myself and become more resilient, and move ahead, Yeah. So So these are the next one is the 5 turnaround events. This is, I think a lot of people do not take action because of fear. They do not take action because they do not see the possibility of a very quick 5 turnaround events that can happen. Number 1 is the COVID vaccine. COVID vaccine, this is an article from China News Asia. They say that the vaccine could be ready by year end. Imagine the vaccine is already announced, it's announced. Then what happened to all the prices straight away? Do you think your Audi, your Mercedes Benz, they will still have the promotion? I think straight away they increase price next day already. Do you think the developer will give you all this discount? Developer also not having a good time because all the construction costs have gone up. The lodging cost is going to go up 6 to 7%. Will they? They will definitely pass this cost to you. So straight away the sentiment, even myself, our party, I'm going to order durian every single day and enjoy myself already. Because I see hope, right? So when you see hope that time, then are you in the market? Have you bought a property? It's just as simple as this. You know, if you have not bought a property by then straight away you tell the developer, I want to buy back at the same price that you offered a few hours ago or yesterday. Then you say, sorry, no more start buy, increase price some more. We are going to increase price 2 days later. No more start buy already. So this is something that you really need to know. Don't let inaction, if you're ready, take action. If you have enough funds and you're financially strong, you can never time the market, but you know that you have to be in the market before all these turnaround events happen. So first one is vaccine discovery. Second one is talking about population increase. I got this, good pointer from Cochrane. He doing his sharing. So like, like next month, they're going to talk about election in July. And previously they were talking about 6.9 mil. Then after they reduced to 6.5 mil, right? If you take 6.5 mil minus the current population that we have, that is 800,000. And before 2030, we have 10 years to go, 9.5. So we have 80,000 new, new immigrants to come into Singapore, new population going to come into Singapore. What does this mean? Do you think there will be enough houses? Have you ever wondered why the government is overbuilding the MRT, the roads widening, the houses? Why are they building so many? There's a reason, because they want to be prepared. Make sure that the infrastructure is ready before all these big numbers come in. And they need all these big numbers come in because they need to pay for a lot of taxes. And I'm very sure they will definitely bring them in, because you see all this budget, they are spending 100 billion. They need to recover all this. They need to bring in good people to develop the industry over here, to bring good jobs. And even at 6.5 mil, I have heard they were even projecting in 2030 plus about 10 mil population, and that is a possibility, a real possibility. So imagine if you do not buy any property, you'll be losing out. And why are government coming out with all these relief measures, or why possibly would they relax all this ABSD? It's because 1 in 5 jobs are related to real estate and construction line. Yeah. So this is why the government definitely would be looking to support the real estate industry and construction industry. And that's why they are doing so hard to allow all these relief measures to postpone the installment. And later part, definitely they might help the property sector, because they need to imagine now the jobs are, there might be some unemployment. They cannot afford real estate and construction line to go down, because 20% of the jobs are related to these two industries. So that brings me to the next point. The next point of the government possibly relaxing 5%, relaxing ABSD. And I feel that I guess this is my own judgment. It could be a relaxation of 5%. Why? Because if you think about it, then Singapore domestic economy is not big enough. The economy here, domestic consumption is not big enough. It's not like China or India or US whereby they can close off the doors and they can survive. They want domestic consumption, but Singapore cannot. They need foreigners. So they need money to be pumped in here. And how do they do that? They can relax the ABSD. From 20%, they relax 5%. They just roll back the previous cooling measure of the 5% ABSD. And it's still not too bad. Locals still have to pay 7% ABSD. There will still be some deterrent. Foreigners drop 5%, then more of them will come in. And when will they relax? The golden question is, when will they relax the ABSD? So a lot of you were just now projecting 10, 20, 30% in terms of the price drop, right? But I believe once it hits 5%, the trigger point, like my friend Cokin, he projected this chart. The blue chart is the price index. The orange chart is the quarter-on-quarter increase or drop. So when the let me draw. Yeah. Over here, you see, it went up by 5%. Then they tightened the cooling measure. When the price went down here, about 5%, then they eased the cooling measure. So what's the next measure going to be? If the price were to drop here for let's say 10% or be it 5%, then definitely the government will do something. And previously they already promised that this cooling measure is just a temporary one. They will see how the situation is, and they will want to make the property market sustainable, and they do not want the property market to crash. So that's one way that they can do it. And you have to be in the property market before you can enjoy. Imagine straight away relax the ABSD. Do you think the seller will sell to you at the fire sale price? No. They'll tell you, no, I don't want to sell you at this price already. I want to increase price already. Because it sends a signal. It sends a signal that the market can recover. Okay, then the fourth turnaround event. HDB upgraders. You have seen it in the last round. In 2009, after the SARS, that time, the private property market was going down, but in fact, the HDB market was doing very well. There were a lot of COV because there were a lot of foreigners, and that's why the COV spiral keep going up, and this supported the eventual prices to shoot up into 2013 to have, then the government came in with a cooling measure. So I foresee that. I mean, you can tell, in fact, most of the sales now is mostly the OCR or the RCR projects, and most of the buyers are they are addressed, right? You can see that they are HDB upgraders. In fact, myself, I have quite a lot, and my colleagues, they do a lot of asset progression. And some of you might have some HDB that you're thinking, you have made money on your BTO, and you are young, and you are able to loan. So I want to upgrade. And what more now? Because you see that your HDB value is holding price, your private market is under pressure. I think this is an awesome time for you to enter. So a lot of youngsters, a lot of young people who can take the loan, and they are young, they can take the risk, and they are ambitious, they want to upgrade for the sake of their future. They are very aware that property can help them make money. At the same time, they want to let their kids enjoy, and they themselves have a better lifestyle. Then they want to upgrade and buy a private property. It's different from last time where our parents just buy a HDB and then we follow in the footsteps to buy a HDB. Nowadays, like millennials, and yourselves, Rachel and Sharon and Sherry, and Kenneth, you're all looking into buying property as a way to grow your asset and retire. Because you know that as long as you can hold the population, when the population increases, definitely your property price will go up. Because if the COPIO from $1 or 90 cents, last time 80 cents, now can go up to 120, why not the property? Right. So you have to buy a property to make sure that you can benefit when the floodgates are open. And lastly, the high net worth are flocking to Singapore. It's a safe haven because they see that Singapore is a good place and well governed. And during this crisis is even more apparent. Yes, they see that, you know, at first they control very well, so they praise Singapore. Then later part got all these foreign workers, they're all affected. So some people already start to say, oh, Singapore lousy, whatever. But I think most people, they understand that if you look at the local numbers, it's really very little. Like past week is less than average on ±5, or there was one day with 0. And most telling, the death rate is, I think, the lowest in the world, one of the lowest in the world. So definitely this is a good place where we have good, solid healthcare infrastructure, safety, and our reserves are the strongest. That's why we are able to come out 100 billion, and yet our credit rating is still AAA. And you can see from this next slide over here, see from the Channel News Asia, another article. There has been, in fact, during this, I think the month of April, there were majority of the buyers, beginning of buyers were all buying into a CCR. You can see they park the money here. There's an increasing number of luxury homes sold in the CCR. So this shows that Singapore is the best. Oh yeah, there was an article also that shows that Singapore is the best place to invest. Okay, so now you understand about this part. Is there any question at the moment before I continue? I don't know whether you're okay for me to continue. It's been 1 hour. I thank you for your time and your patience to listen to me. Okay, I continue. Or maybe you want to put in the chat box. Anything? No, I just continue. Okay. Okay. So the next question is how to invest safely, right? Because you're going to plumb in 1 mil or 800,000, or it could be 1 mil plus 2 mil, 5 mil, I don't know, but it will definitely be a huge investment. So a lot of people have been asking me, they want to buy a resale property. Right, so I want to show you this graph over here. There's a lot of, in fact, there's a lot of some dangers in the resale property. Hang on, Okay, yeah. Sorry, I cannot control my iPad. Yeah, price disadvantage. What do I mean? What do I mean? Is that, you know, okay, for example, this is the market price, and then somebody tells you I can sell you 10% cheaper. I can fire sale to you 10%. So he sells to you 10% cheaper. Are you safe? Do you think you're safe? If the market goes down further, what happens? Can these fellas who bought here, sell even lower? Right. And even if you buy at this price, for it to go up, let's say you want to sell here, or sell back at the same price, original price here. Is it easy? It's not easy because you're the only one who's asking here, whereas the rest are still selling at a valuation price. Because the one big problem is that everybody is looking at valuation price. I was selling a property last week, and he made an offer, but I asked him to offer 1.5 mil, but he only offered 1.45 because he said that's the current valuation. And that's the reality nowadays, because in the resale market, all the buyers are asking the bankers for the valuation. Right. So if you are able to buy 10% down, yeah, 10% lower, Do you know that your transaction affects your own valuation? So yeah, you can sell in 3 years' time, for example, right? But there will always be people who buy cheaper than you. And another thing is, if once you buy a resale property, you will have the immediate loan liability. Straight away, you are subjected to the 75% loan, the 100% of the loan. And you will have, that is a guaranteed, your loan liability is guaranteed, but is your rental guaranteed or not? The fella who rents and then his lease ends November this year, will he be asking for a reduction in the rent? I think because maybe, you know, these current relief measures, the government has protected locals. But are they protecting foreigners? You have read that they are not really protecting foreigners. And what will happen? Your foreigner will, maybe their job is lost. So they have, I think, 6 months to find another job. What happened? They'll ask you for a rent reduction. And you've seen in some articles, they already asked for like almost half or 10%. So straight away, you will have all these issues. Or even if, let's say they vacate, is it so easy to find another tenant? It's not so easy, and definitely at a lower price. So this is the danger of the resale property market. So I don't want all this headache. So what I advise, and even myself, I've invested in the new launch. I'm sure that a lot of agents have been pitching to you new launches, but there's a reason why they pitch this to you. Is it because the commission is higher? Not really. It's because they really care for you as well. They have seen the benefits of launches, how they can help the consumer make more money. This is a chart that I showed to my customer buyer before he bought Florence Residences that time of last year. So he was saying that, okay, Jurong, I myself buy a place where there is a transformation. So he's looking at Jurong. He said he look at Park Vista. Park Vista is near to Chinese Garden MRT station. It's even nearer than the Lakeview. But it's only $800 per square feet, $800 per square feet. And then I showed him this chart that Lakeview owners, they bought at $1,200 per square feet, 50% higher. And yet they were able to make money upon TOP. They make money here, but if you were to buy the Park Vista, you'll be scratching your head. How come I buy $800 per square feet, and yet I'm not making money, and my price is like a dead man's house, still so flat, and it doesn't make sense. 1,200 PSF, and it still can go up to 1,400, 1,500 per square feet. Why is this so? It doesn't make sense. But frankly, is quite. If you think about it, nowadays people do not look at PSF. The number one criteria they say is, can I afford it? So that's the reason why at that point in time, me and Wendy, we were looking at over here, I was looking at Livia. I was looking at Livia because it's cheap. The per square feet was like $700 per square feet, 4-bedroom, 1,159 something square feet, right? But the total quantum was like, I think 1.4 plus. Then I had an opportunity to buy this sub-sale from my friend. So I bought at 1.238 mil for 4-bedroom, $1,000 per square feet. So basically, my pricing was like 25% higher than the Livia. And yet, after 2 years, 3 years now, my price has appreciated 250,000 in terms of valuation, whereas Livia has dropped a bit. And why is the reason so? The reason is because the number one question I asked myself before I bought this DNS is that the quantum is right size, 1.238, is very affordable for 4-bedroom. I also compared to another project, which is Grandeur Park. That one is like 500,000 more for the same size. So I thought this is a good deal. On top of that, because at this location, to get a 4-bedroom, yes, the room size are very small, but I was able to get a 1.238. And every 100,000, and it's new, every 100,000 matters a lot to me. So the quantum is very important because my loan depends on the quantum. Whereas a person who wants to buy, attracted to Livia because of the lower per square feet, $800 per square feet, they cannot afford the down payment because it's 1.4 mil. So it's harder for them to swallow down because they crunch the numbers and they see the installment is much higher. So to them, it's very stressful. If you bought a property before, or maybe you're like me, like that, every 100,000 counts. So the entry price is very, very important. So this is the reason why Lakeview was able to make money even upon TOP, because their size was small, whereas Park Vista size was big. So even though the PSF is $800, but the total quantum was high. And people, psychologically, right, people are willing to pay more for a newer project. And also, upon TOP, right, you can get the key straight away. They can get instant gratification. So they accept that they have to pay a higher price. They know that definitely they are paying a higher per square feet compared to the first owner, but they accept it because they are the first person to be able to stay in the house. And it's a brand new house. There's no history of how long, no history of any, leakage or renovation defects. In fact, there's warranty as well. So that's one reason why people like to buy new launches. And another important point is that now you see that if you buy a launch, right, this is the, okay, I only have to worry about the progressive payment, which is very little. I don't, the installment doesn't kick in straight away. So the main bulk is just the down payment. And then after that, the progressive payment is very small, and I can look forward to TOP to sell at a good price. And when is the TOP? TOP is mostly in 2023, 2024. By then, the market should recover, and you'll be able to make a good profit by then. Or even if you're not going to sell, you're going to buy for own stay, you know that your property has a long 99-year lease. At the same time, the property price can hold. It can hold better than an older property because it is new. Everybody loves new. This is the consumer behavior, right? Okay, then this is another article that I get from Straits Times. Yeah, so new home prices are unlikely to drop. They are likely to remain unchanged. Why? Because they are not in a rush to sell. Because they are not affected by the ABSD penalty. Oh, there's a bit of lagging. Hang on. Huh? How many more slides? A few more slides only. Sorry. Okay. Yeah. So you can see the developers are not facing any stress. They are subject to ABSD only 2022, 2023, and plus another 6 months. So by then the situation will be over. They will definitely be able to move all these units, especially with the help of all these HDB upgraders and the foreigners. And the last few slides, okay, catching the market cycle. You can see that the last market went up, right, was in 2018 when the supply was dropping, right? Because there were not enough houses already. And this cycle will repeat again in 2023 because there's no supply. Because of en bloc situation, they stop all the en bloc, the cooling measures stop all the en bloc. After this batch of houses that TOP, there's no more supply already. Imagine you buy now as a new launch. By 2023, 2024, you're going to be a resale, yes, but you are able to sell because there's no more new stock in the market. It doesn't mean that the government opened the supply straight away, the houses will come out. It takes about 3 years to construct. And by then, you are the latest, you're the freshest stock in the market, brand new. Owners will want to snatch for your house. Okay, so yeah, there's an exit certainty because there's a low unsold inventory of new launch units in the market. So you'll go back to a resale market by then. Okay. 126 slides. No. Yeah, Adrian, not so many. That's the first chapter. 𝗍𝗲𝗍𝗍. Okay. Yeah, we're a bit lagging. Okay, so you can see that Singapore property market is very predictable. It's a cycle, up and down, up and down. So the next good time to exit is 2023 onwards. So like if you get a property within the next 6 months, like I mentioned that you only have a short window of opportunity within the next 6 months to enter the market before the 5 turnaround factors, right? And then it's just nice. It's really just nice. 2023, you can exit at a good price. And lastly, the new launches have a very inherent benefit. The developer will help you stage up the price. Like now, the developer want to make profit. So do you think they are in a rush to really push the units? They have time on their side. So of course, they still want to have some sales, some traction, but the main bulk of their profit will come later part towards the end of the TOP, the last stage. This is what I noticed between Coco Palm and DNES. How come I was thinking, how come Coco Palm make a lot of more profits compared to DNES? I asked myself. So I realized that DNES was very quickly taken up in 2013, 2014. They were quickly sold out. Whereas Coco Palm had leftover units until 2018. The year that TOP is very important. DNES TOP in 2017 when the market was not very bullish. That's why and also all the units were sold out. So the developer was not able to help to stage up the pricing. Whereas Coco Palm TOP in 2018 and before that, there was still a lot of leftover units and the developer increased the price. So it's good that you get into a property launch that still have many units. For example, Treasure. Even though I think now still got 40%, but it's good also because the TOP in 2023, 2024. You have a runway for the developer to increase the price. Do you think they want to sell out now? They also don't want to sell out now. Because why? Because now if they will sell out now, they wouldn't be able to capture the main bulk of profit. Are they able to sell a good price today? If you have limited number of units in hand in your pocket, and you are selling at a lousy price, and your ABSD deadline is still far away, do you want to sell away all your current stock? No, this stock is your profit. So I would rather just, slowly move a bit, cover my cost. But towards the end, I'm ready to sell at a very high price. And you find that it's very strange. Singaporeans are like that. They are willing to pay very high price. You see, like seaside residences. I'm sorry if any of you are looking at seaside residences, but it's the truth. You see, it's going to TOP soon, and the prices shoot up like crazy, and still got people buy because it's going to TOP for a simple fact. Okay. So to sum it up, if not now, then when? I mean, a lot of buyers are looking to enter the market, and they have been saying, wait until the market crash. And now the market, I mean, the COVID crisis is here, once in a lifetime. Are you going to act or not? Is it the best time to act? I think it's the best time to act. If not now, then when? You're going to wait another 10 years, the next cycle. By then, how old will you be? And thank you so much. I still have some more slides, but I think it's just about some simple calculation, but you can PM me. I can share with you again because I thank you for your time. Now it's already 1 hour, 50 minutes. Yeah. Any question that you have? Any feedback, maybe you can share with me. Okay.
You see your
Zoom, no question. Nothing, Okay. If not, thank you for coming here tonight. Thank you so much. Hope you enjoy my sharing. It's my first time, and thank you for coming here and joining me and supporting me. Thank you. Yeah, fortune favors the bold. Where I get my light? No, it's just my house. House light. I turn around, I show you. There, my light. Can see? Cannot see. Oh, cannot see because it's still. Oh yeah, still under the virtual. Oh yeah, okay. Yeah, stop my sharing. Okay, thank you. Bye-bye. Good night. Holy. Am I